Now welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Alright, well, some of the articles have been starting to leak some information for the Empire magazine that is coming. I mean, we know that Daisy Ridley is going to be having a career-spanning interview, and so we've got some pieces of that to share. And it does pertain, of course, to the new Jedi Order film title
The Rey
pending.
movie.
Alright, so we're going to start out with the first quote. She kind of gets into how she feels when, she was filming the sequel trilogy versus what's happening now. She says, I suppose I feel more like I'm owning it. I suppose I owned it the first time. Basically, I'm an adult now. I certainly did not feel like an adult at the time. Obviously, personally, things have changed, and professionally, I've had lots of other experiences, and so I definitely feel like it's a different thing this time.
She probably feel more confident this time, right? She was really young when The Force
very young,
Awakens was, even the whole trilogy filming.
Well, I agree 100%. And we know that she's kind of been living in the indie world for the past couple of years.
Indiana Jones verse?
No, because then her career would be over.
Oh.
No, but she has been both producing and acting in indie films, and I feel like that will definitely help possibly improve acting skills. Like, when you make an indie movie,
Yeah.
it's different than I'm making a Hollywood blockbuster movie. I feel like these experiences that she's talking about,
yeah.
Professionally, things have changed, she said. Working on all these indie films, I can only think maybe would help her hone her skills and all the things to make Rey better.
I don't think she's bad in the sequel trilogy in terms of acting. But with her producing, with her doing more, smaller, more intimate roles, you could say, that can only help. Maybe she'll even feel more emboldened to give her input in the character because there just wasn't a lot to Rey.
I know
beyond her being really good at stuff.
I know she just did that Sometimes I Think About Dying in January, and the next project she's been working on is called Young Woman in the Sea. It's about the first woman who swam across the English Channel.
Oh.
Yeah. She's been busy.
She has been busy.
Mm-hmm. But we also have to know, taking into account, obviously, there was a lot of drama surrounding the sequel trilogy.
No.
But, according to her, they still have a special place in her heart.
Yeah, those paychecks that she's getting for the new movie will too.
I think it's more than that for
I'm
her.
just kidding, yes. That's right. Oscar Isaac.
He does openly say
He's literally
it,
said, yeah, he'll do it for another house.
Yeah. She says, there's just a lot of joy with me in these films. Honestly, if I wasn't excited, I wouldn't have done it. It feels like a great thing to be a part of. It wasn't a difficult decision coming back. I didn't say yes right away. Kathy Kennedy was like, take as long as you need. Well, why wouldn't I do it? Yes, they have been divisive, but they also bring a lot of love and joy to a lot of people. It feels pretty amazing to be able to continue a character like I can't even remember how to play her. It's an interesting challenge as an actor to come back to something and try to figure out what's changed for me and what's changed for her.
Interesting that she acknowledges the divisiveness of the... You don't oftentimes get that out of people, either in Lucasfilm associated with the sequels, whatever it might be.
It's a new era, I think. I
hope so.
When Madam Web came out, you had, that actor, Sydney, I can't remember her last name, she played the red-headed spider woman person.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, she came right out and said that she didn't like the movie.
Didn't the main Dakota?
Yeah, she also came out and was like, yeah, it was kind of bad.
I'm not going to...
Normally actors don't go around panning the projects. Plus, it makes the studios... Are they going to want to work with you again if you did that?
I was just going to say, I'm not sure we can compare Madam Web to anything. Even the sequels are superior.
What?
I know, I said it. I get what you're saying, though. That it takes guts to say this sucked because, yeah, you are going to... Oh, look at her. She dare say our project sucks. We're not going to rehire her.
Not to mention how many other companies are going to want them if they're like, well she badmouths the company she works for.
Well, it's not even that they're bad. I think she's being honest about it, right? Mm-hmm. No one's going to, defend Sony's... what they did with Madam Web, right? So she's being honest. It's not like she's like, oh, they're just bashing it to bash it.
Right.
She's being very candid. So it's kind of nice to see, but that probably isn't appreciated by a studio.
No, and it does give the red flag to the other studios.
Exactly.
If we don't put out something good, she's going to talk, and it's just, I don't know.
How dare her have an opinion.
She? I also really like that, knowing that she's kind of done the indie career, knowing how the Star Wars was received, that she's really trying to dig into her character and figure out not only what's changed for her as a person, as Daisy Ridley, but what has changed for Rey over these years.
I do hope, I mean, going along with what you're saying here, like, I do hope they kind of take that into consideration with this movie. Not that they're just going to be oblivious to the fact that a lot of people didn't like Rey.
Right.
I mean, granted, a lot of people are not going to watch this movie who didn't like Rey.
Right.
But you will have people who are like, you know what? I didn't like the sequels. I didn't really like Rey, but I want to see this. I want to see what they do next with Star Wars. And hopefully you can kind of take that into consideration, like I'm saying, and understand you're going to have a lot of audience members who are maybe skeptical, to put it mildly and gently, about what this movie is going to be.
I mean, you have to consider this Rey, time has passed. This should not be the same Rey from the last Skywalker.
She should be like 10 times more powerful. My powers have doubled since last we met, audience.
You know what I mean, though.
Tripled, quadrupled. Yeah,
I
know.
What has she been doing with this whole time? How established is she in maybe creating a new Jedi Order? What did the galaxy do after they beat the First Order? There are questions out there that we need to... We're not calling
you're right. I hope there's more world building, not just kind of gloss over things.
Right, because we have to know what happened to this galaxy after the First Order.
Yeah, one of the problems with the sequels is like, okay, it's been 30 years, and I feel like we missed everything. And it's like, oh, there's a First Order, and a planet just blew up. Oh, well, like, why is there resistance?
They still haven't told us why First Order had First Order space.
Well, there was an armistice. Yes, that's all you need to know.
But why did you leave them?
Yeah.
Like, what was so intimidating about them that we're like, no, man, give them their space?
Yeah, the sequels really took nothing away from the prequels because the prequels have world building. Mm-hmm. I mean, the original trilogy does too. I'm not saying that, but the original trilogy is more of a ride, right? You don't really get...
The original trilogy is following 3 characters on their journey.
Basically, yeah.
The prequels is leading into, like, you need an entire history of leading into that.
Yeah, it sets up, it does its own thing, it sets up the world to come or the galaxy to come. It does world building, and then you have the sequels who are like, well, we're going to just copy the original trilogy, which didn't really worry about that as much, and here's a story, even though we have 6 previous movies and a well-established universe that we're just going to ignore.
Yeah.
So I agree that the next movie will have to explain what has happened in the last 15 years or so.
Yeah, we need some answers here. I mean, the new film is still tentatively called New Jedi Order. Obviously, that's probably going to change, right?
I don't know. They seem to have trouble naming things these days.
Why isn't it called Rey, New Jedi Order?
Just call it Rey.
No.
Just Rey.
There have been rumors that casting is underway. We've heard rumors about maybe John Boyega's Finn coming back.
Yeah. Has Oscar Isaac moved into a new home? Because that'll tell us if he's coming back or not.
I don't care if Poe comes back. They didn't do his character any love, so...
Again with the hate of Poe. But I get it. They just kind of...
He shouldn't be necessary at this point in the story. If this is a Jedi-focused New Jedi Order story, Poe doesn't really fit into that. Finn does.
Do you think Poe kind of followed in Leia's footsteps at all? New Republic or New Republic? Like Senator,
I think he's more of a fighter than a politician.
I do too, but...
Leia was a politician.
You kind of got this impression she or he was kind of like Leia's protege in a weird sort of way, like leadership role.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm crazy.
If he's supposed to be the Han Solo of the story, Han Solo didn't become a senator. He went on to have a racing league.
Yeah.
This is Poe's racing league.
Yeah. Anyway, my bad.
Well, they should start filming either late this year or early next year. I mean, that is something that Ridley confirmed in a past interview as well. Currently, Lucasfilm is focusing on The Mandalorian and Grogu. Supposed to start filming that in June in California.
I think we need your voice in the official trailer.
Oh, when that drops in there.
Yeah.
Welcome to The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yes,
movie
absolutely needs to be in there.
Yeah. Well, that's supposed to come out May 22nd, 2026.
Officially.
Yes, they officially announced that. Currently, the new Jedi Order film, we're assuming, is going to be December 18th, 2026.
Yes.
Because they are farther along than the Mangold movie.
Yeah, and the Filoni movie.
Yeah, we have no idea what's going on with that. But this story will continue to develop. Disney is presenting its future slate of movies at CinemaCon on Thursday, where we're going to hear some more news about setting concrete things and dates and stuff.
Yeah. So we might actually get a confirmation of, this is the rate. Because we have a window. They've announced a few years back, actually. I think it was, Star Wars movies are coming out this date. So that's where the December 2026 date comes from. Mm-hmm. It's like a reserved spot. So maybe we will get that confirmation.
I think it's going to be the Rey movie, because December is where they were putting all of those. The entire sequel trilogy, didn't they all come out in December?
Yeah, December, yeah.
So I think
Solo was the only one that didn't.
Because it wasn't a main story. It wasn't an episodic movie.
No.
And while this isn't supposed to be an episodic movie, it's an episodic movie in my head.
Yeah, it's basically... It feels like episode 10, even if you don't want to call it that.
So that's why they're going to put it in December, because that's what they did with all of their...
Yeah, Rogue One also was out in December too, but I get what you're saying. No,
Okay.
I definitely feel this is episode 10, and if it is well received, that is a big if. I think we get unofficial episode 11 after it at some point. All right, well, I think that is going to be all we got for you this time. Now it is your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think about the news about the Rey movie.
I'm a fool. I'm looking forward to it, even though
I've been looking forward to this.
even though I was disappointed in the past. I'm always hoping for the redemption story, the redemption of this Lucasfilm to go, here you go, wonderful Star Wars. People are having a good time. That's just what I want.
I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to it. I would say that I hope that somehow this is a good movie and can start to turn things around. I hope Mando
So you're
and Grogu...
still in the curious phases?
Well, I'm always curious what they're doing with Star Wars. Sometimes a little more angry curious and sometimes a little more excited curious. If the Mando and Grogu movie is good, which I think it will be good. I don't know that it's going to be, like, amazing.
Okay.
But if that's good, and then you actually could do something with Rey, like we were kind of talking about, like do something with her that acknowledges that people had issues with her, address those issues, give us a real good movie, and let's go from there.
I like it.
All right, well, until then, though, or until next time, leave those comments below, and thanks for watching.